This video is dedicated to Mr. Richard Hoagland. From the moment Mr. Hoagland presented his findings on Cydonia, the Pyramid City on Mars, his famous chart, cube and castle analysis, and most recently the unfortunate Lennon affair, he has received a lot of criticism. I have my strong doubts about most of his rather weird theories, but not regarding the castle. There is a castle overhead the moon. It took me a very long time to find the evidence for the existence of Hoagland's castle, but I found it. So far the only image that showed the castle was AS-TED 324822, but I managed to find more images, and not just from Apollo 10. And it is time that we reinstate Mr. Hoagland's reputation. Okay, here we go. AS-10 324822. This is the famous castle picture. Apollo 10 frame 4822. And this is taken from Mr. Hoagland's book. And as you can see here, this is the famous castle, 9 miles above the moon. Okay, next picture. This is the picture we've seen on the internet, the castle. It's in color. I have no idea where he found it or where he took it from. But I did my own analysis on this picture. And you see that it is in color. And what you see here are the artifacts. And you see that this is totally different from the artifacts. There is structure inside. And this is with denoising. So this is Mr. Hoagland's castle. Okay, Apollo 10. This is from the photo index, Apollo 10 photo index. And we see here 4822, Triesnecker area. And the photo quality is good. This is the official NASA image, which you can download from NASA. So when we increase contrast and gamma, we see absolutely nothing. The famous castle is not visible here. In fact, everything has been blanked. Everything is totally black. Well, this is an image I found some 10 years ago on the internet, and not on the NASA site. And this is what I see. There. Not the castle here, but something floating here. What is it? When we reduce the reflections, and we do something about the contrast, and also pixel level contrast enhancement, we see a clear object appearing. But not just one object, two objects. There's one here as well. Let's zoom in. Okay, what we see now is two cigar-like objects next to each other and one smaller object here. Okay, keep this in mind. We have an object A and we have an object B. A mothership and a companion. This is with denoising. He is even better visible. And watch the shape. Okay, remember the shape. AS-10 324855. The same film roll. Well, it's totally black, right? No, it's not, because there's something here. Our human eye cannot see it, but we can make it visible. There, next to the arrow. Let's increase contrast. And let's zoom in. Now we see what appears to be a JPEG artifact. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is not an artifact. Because when we enhance more and we do deblurring and refocus, we see that there is structure. We see that it looks like a skyscraper. And let's go further. More focus, more details, enhanced edges, even more. Okay, now we remove all the noise. And finally, we combine all these images, stack it, and make a 3D image of it. Right here. And now we see that it indeed is a skyscraper building. We see a very strange disk object on top. We see stories here. And this is several miles high. This is not a JPEG artifact. AS-8 132345, Apollo 8. Well, nothing to see here, right? Wrong again, because there's something here in the darkness. Let's do some clipping, some tail clipping, and then when an object appears. There's not much shape yet, but let's zoom in. Now we see something like two cigars next to each other and a smaller object. Well, what a coincidence. Zoom in further. Now we see that these are two objects, like cigar-like objects, and a smaller object, A and B, companion. When we rotate the image for 90 degrees, then we see indeed two cigar-shaped objects. Okay, do contrast, some sharpening. And these are not artifacts. These are not artifacts. This is not dust. These are not scratches. Would be very much coincidence if Apollo 10 and Apollo 8 would have the same scratches and the same dust. AS8 172826. Again, a little dot in the far distance. Let's zoom in. This is supposed to be a tile or a piece of the capsule, of the command module, according to NASA. Well, when we zoom in, it doesn't look like a tile to me. This is something else. Could this be our companion? Let's see. AS11 385556. I made a video of this in the past, and I hope you saw it, and otherwise I will re-upload it. Okay, darkness again, the moon, and nothing to see here. Well, there's an object right here, next to the arrow. Now we increase contrast, and here it is already visible. There it is. Now we zoom in, and we see what appears to be a cigar or a rocket-shaped object, and there's something here on top. Even better visible now, and you see that it's reflecting light, so it could be metal. This is not scratches, this is not dust. These are not JPEG artifacts. Here's the object again. Rocket shape or V shape, depending on the perspective you're looking at it, and a smaller object next to it. A companion. AS17 137 21023. Apollo 17. Nothing here. And this is a TIFF file, by the way. This is not a JPEG file, this is a TIFF file. Because I will show the debunkers that TIFF files also have these anomalies, and not just JPEG files. So this is the JPEG file, and again, nothing to see. Okay, watch the positions of the hills, A, B, and C. Next image is AS17 137 21024. This is a TIFF file I download from the internet, from www.archive.org. Again, the hills, positions of the hills, and watch the red arrow. There is a little speck, right? It's not a speck. It's our little friend, because when we enhance contrast and we zoom in, then we see a strange object here and a companion. Now the companion looks bigger, much bigger than the other ones, but that could also be perspective. We're not sure how close the little object is and how far away the main object is. So when we denoise it, we again see something that resembles our castle, the castle from Mr. Hoagland. Let's zoom in. Companion. And what could be the mothership? See? Tower. Connection. Towers. So, what is it? I don't know. But it really is strange. So, have we proven that this is indeed the castle? No, we have not proven that it is the castle. But we have found the object or objects on several Apollo missions. So there must be something overhead the moon. And it's not dust and it's not scratches. I hope you enjoyed it. So I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.